The assassination of Boris Nemtsov, a prominent Russian opposition politician and fierce critic of President Vladimir Putin, occurred on the evening of February 27, 2015, as he was walking across the Bolshoi-Moskvoretsky Bridge in Moscow, just steps away from the Kremlin walls, where he was fatally shot 4 times, an act that sent shock waves through the already tense political climate in Russia and raised numerous questions about the safety of political dissent in an increasingly oppressive environment. In the days following his assassination, thousands of mourners gathered at various locations across Russia and around the world to pay their respects to Nemtsov, leaving flowers, candles, and heartfelt messages that highlighted not only the loss of a dedicated politician, but also the deep-seated fears among the Russian populace regarding freedom of speech and the consequences of opposing state power. Amidst a wave of public outcry, protests erupted in several cities where citizens, journalists, and human rights activists gathered to demand justice for Boris Nemtsov, calling for accountability in a political system that often stifles dissent and punishes those who dare to challenge the status quo. As the investigation into his assassination unfolded, a trial commenced that ultimately led to the conviction of several individuals believed to be involved in the crime. Yet many observers criticized the proceedings as a facade, arguing that the true masterminds behind the killing remained at large and that the Russian government had failed to adequately address the political motivations surrounding Nemtsov's murder. Boris Nemtsov, once a rising star in Russian politics and former deputy prime minister, was known for his unwavering stance on democracy and reform, and his untimely death not only symbolized the risks faced by those who challenged the Kremlin, but also served as a grim reminder of the fragility of political discourse in Russia, particularly in a capital city where the echoes of dissent are often met with silence. In the years that followed, Boris Nemtsov's legacy continued to inspire a new generation of activists and opposition leaders as candlelight vigils and memorials became annual events, reflecting the enduring struggle for justice and freedom in Russia, while also casting a stark light on the ongoing challenges faced by those who dare to advocate for change in a landscape rife with political repression. As the international community remained watchful of Russia's political landscape, Boris Nemtsov's name was invoked in discussions about human rights and governmental accountability, highlighting the importance of his vision for a democratic Russia, bringing together activists and thinkers alike who sought to honor his memory by continuing the fight against corruption and for increased civil liberties. In the heart of Moscow, vibrant murals and street art dedicated to Boris Nemtsov emerged as symbols of resistance and hope, serving not only as artistic tributes to a life cut short, but also as rallying points for young activists who passionately debated the future of their country, determined to keep the spirit of reform alive in the face of adversity. Through peaceful demonstrations and grassroots campaigns aimed at raising awareness about political repression in Russia, supporters of Nemtsov's ideals organized events that not only commemorated his life but also called for meaningful reforms, uniting citizens from diverse backgrounds in a collective plea for transparency, accountability, and the right to free expression. In various forums and public debates across the nation, the legacy of Boris Nemtsov served as a catalyst for discussions on democracy and civic engagement, with political analysts, activists, and ordinary citizens coming together to explore strategies for fostering a more open society and to empower individuals to take an active role in shaping the political landscape of their country. In the corridors of power and beyond, leaders from various political parties occasionally paused to reflect on the profound impact of Boris Nemtsov's activism, acknowledging that his commitment to political reform prompted a necessary dialogue about governance in Russia, while retrospectives and documentaries chronicling his life and work served as educational tools for future generations, reminding them of the importance of standing up for democracy and human rights. As anniversaries of his assassination approached, candlelight vigils blossomed into powerful gatherings where citizens, journalists, and dignitaries united in sorrow and solidarity, each flame representing not just a memory of Boris Nemtsov, but also a collective promise to persist in the fight for justice and transparency, ensuring that his vision for Russia would not be forgotten amid the shadows of political uncertainty. Driven by a growing awareness of political issues, a new wave of youth activists emerged, inspired by Boris Nemtsov's courage and principles, as they utilized social media and grassroots organizing to amplify their messages, seeking not only to honor his memory, but also to challenge the status quo through innovative approaches to activism that resonate within the hearts of their peers, planting the seeds of change throughout Russian society.